Hello and welcome to this video about graphing linear functions in point-slope form. The learning target for this lesson is graphing functions in point-slope form. Okay, so let's talk about point-slope form. Now, big picture, when you're trying to graph linear functions, there are many different ways to do it, and it's often about what is the easiest way I can do this. How can I make my life super duper easy? Now, point-slope form is really handy when we need to write functions and we don't, or write the equation for a function and we don't want to do a lot of like number crunching or simplifying or anything like that. And it is y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1. Now what we need to do is highlight some of these pieces here. So m is no surprise, that means slope. All right, just like in the slope formula or y equals mx plus b, that is your slope. Now what's sneaky here is that we have x1 and y1. And so what this refers to is an actual xy point. So, like that. The thing is, these will actually be numbers. So, I'll write that there. So these are going to be given to you in numbers. Now notice that there's a difference in signs. And so that's another thing I gotta point out here is that notice the negatives. And so what that means is that the xy point is going to be the opposite of what it's written. So xy is opposite of minus y1 and negative x1. And when we do some examples, you'll see and it'll make more sense. And then finally, this x and this y are variables. And so those are going to stay as x and y. And later when we talk about how to like write these types of functions based off of a graph, those will stay variables as well. Okay, so now let's jump in and take a look at some examples. I think that's just probably the best way to learn. Let's say we have y minus 4 is equal to 1/2 times the quantity x plus 1. Now the first thing we have to do is get our point. And we have to remember that the general formula has it as y minus y1 is equal to m times the quantity x minus x1. And that the point you get from this is x1 comma y1. The signs change. So what this means is that our x is going to be negative 1 and the y is going to be positive 4. Okay? And so what we're going to do now is go to the graph and we're going to plot that point. Negative 1, 4. So we use the point and then, or we plot the point, then use the slope to find another point. And so here our slope is 1/2. So that means I go up 1 over 2. There's my other point. I could go down 1 over 2 because it's positive, so I've got multiple options, and I can keep going if I wanted to. Connect them, draw my arrows, there we go. So let's just walk through a few more examples. Let's say we have y minus or plus 3 is equal to negative 2 x plus 4. So first thing we need to do is extract our point. Our point is going to be negative 4, negative 3. So notice again how the signs change. Also, this is super duper confusing. Here in the equation, the y is written first and the x is written second, and then you have to do like a just double flip thing where you have to put this to the left, that to the right, while changing the sign. So take your time with that, jot down that point, and then jot down the slope, which in this case is, negative 1/2, negative 2. And so find the point, negative 4, negative 3, plot that. And then we go, we use our slope negative 2, has that direction, so down 1 over 1, or down 2 over 1 like that, or up 2 and to the left 1 like that. Connect them, draw some arrows, boom, and there we go. And so that's the beauty of point-slope form, is we don't need to necessarily know the y-intercept. And especially if the y-intercept's not a whole number, we can just use a random point, or not a random point, but a random point from the equation and use that as sort of our centering point for it all. So let's just do a couple more examples. All right, this one, let's say we have y minus 5 is equal to 3/5 x in parentheses plus, or let's actually make that minus 3. So again, we need to extract our point. We got to bring this one over here, change its sign to 3. Bring this one over here, change its sign to positive 5. And then extract the slope, which is 3/5. So the theme of this one is 3 and 5. All right, now go to the point 3, 5, right there, and then use our slope. Up 3 over 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plot that point. You could make another one. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plot that point. Connect them. Boom. We are graphing using point-slope form. So it just takes practice of being able to extract the point, and the biggest thing you got to remember to do is change the signs and make sure that you write them in the right order. It's really tricky. After that, it's just plotting, and I think that's something we can probably do really well at this point in time. So good luck with your homework and practice, and let me know if you have any questions.